Hello guys, welcome to phonesabout.com. Today we are going to make a quick review of Cubot H1. It's a smartphone with big screen and really big battery. Let's check the box first. The box, nothing interesting about the box, just a regular box. It has phone's specifications written on the back. You can see them right here. You see 5.5 HD display, and it has a quad-core processor clocked at 1 GHz, 2 GB of RAM and 16 GB of ROM. You can see the broadband frequency as well. And also the cameras are displayed right here. But keep in mind that the cameras are interpolated, so the actual camera, the back camera is actually 8 megapixels interpolated to 13 megapixels, and the front one is 5 megapixels interpolated to 8 megapixels. Let's open the box. What we have inside is a protective case, perhaps sent by our seller. We are not sure if Cubot sends such cases by default. We had the phone in this package. Here you see some instructions, how to insert SIM cards, micro SD card, and so on. There is a quick start guide in several languages. Actually, it looks pretty cool. And we have another spare case, another spare protector for our display. The charger is right here, and the other section has an OTG cable along with a micro USB cable. Okay, that's the box. Let's throw it away and let's check the phone. So this is Cubot H1. As we said, it has 5.5-inch display and enormous battery, which is 5200 milliamperes. This makes the phone relatively heavy, but it's not so thick, and it's actually thicker less than 1 centimeter. So basically that's fine for a smartphone with such huge battery. Let's check what's under the backlit, so you can see where the SIM card slots and the micro SD slot is. It's a little bit difficult to remove the back cover. It's really tight. Okay, so once you remove it, you have the slots for both SIM cards right here, and the slot for the micro SD card here as well. This is the big battery, and these are the speakers right there. Okay, the phone is made primarily of plastic, but it doesn't look cheap and it feels really good in hand. There is a aluminum frame right here, so it's combined plastic frame, which looks like an aluminum, and a real aluminum frame on both sides. The build is really solid. There are no squeaky sounds, nothing. It's really solid, really stable. The buttons are not loose. This is the power, this is the volume rocker, and it's made of aluminum as well. And this is the power button. It's really solid phone. Once the screen is turned off, it seems like the phone is almost bezel-less. You can see that there is almost no side bezels, but this is just an optical illusion, let's say. Once you turn the screen off, you'll notice. Let's even check the wallpaper so you can see that what the bezels are with something brighter. Okay, check that out. You can see that the bezels are actually quite thick. You see the side bezels? Okay, they're invisible if you put some black wallpaper, but once you change it, or perhaps on some application, let's say Google Store, here are the bezels. You can see them. There are some good news because the buttons are enlightened. The capacitive navigation screen, actually they're really bright. And also there is a notification light, which is right here. You won't be able to see it right now because it doesn't blink, but there is a notification light right here. So it's pretty cool that we have buttons which are enlightened, because we don't see that with most of the phones, and a notification light as well. The phone comes with Android 5.1 out of the box. Perhaps it will be good just to put the brightness a little bit down. Okay, there is something really strange because if you put the automatic brightness settings, then the shortcut right here in the toggles disappears. So you need to set to manual brightness in order to be available the shortcut right here. You see, okay, this is automatic brightness and no shortcut here. We switch it off and here is the shortcut for the brightness. Okay. So as we said, the phone comes with Android 5.1 out of the box. You can see it's a lollipop. The software is pretty close to vanilla Android, almost the stock Android, which Google sets on their smartphones. The only difference, which you can see, this is obvious, this is the icon pack. It comes with pretty colorful icons. Actually, it looks good. It reminds us a little bit of Xiaomi, along with the wallpaper. Yeah, it's different, but it's similar. It's quite similar to Xiaomi. The settings are pretty straightforward. There is nothing added by Cubot. These are almost stock settings which you'll find with every Nexus phone, every pure Android. There are no bloatware applications or anything Chinese. The phone comes with the Android, with the Google package. It has Google Play Store, it has Google Music. You can also see Chrome browser, Google Plus, Google settings. It has YouTube. Perhaps the only, and of course the maps. There are just a few things that were missing. The Hangouts application, it was different because it's substituted by some Chinese application. As we said, the phone comes with quad-core processor, which is the new MTK 6735P. It's clocked only at 1 GHz, but thanks to that, to its 64-bit architecture, it's capable of handling the task with no issues. As you can see, there is no lag or nothing. The phone performs really smooth. We managed to run some benchmarks, and we can say that the phone is, how should I say it, an entry-level phone. This is really the basic hardware which you can get in terms of processor, but it's capable of delivering everyday task without any issues. As you can see from the benchmarks, it's not really powerful. You can see the AnTuTu result. It's not really powerful, but what stays at the end of the day is the user experience, and we are really satisfied with what we see. We had no problems browsing websites, downloading, installing applications, and so on. So at the end of the day, the phone delivers really good user experience. And if you're interested about the benchmark results, if you want to see more benchmarks, just follow the link under the video and you'll find the full review of the phone with more details. As we said, the camera is 8 megapixels, which are interpolated to 13 megapixels. It's nothing to talk about, just a camera which we have seen with most of the Chinese smartphone, nothing impressive. We can only say that it actually has a little bit better performance than most of the Chinese phone we have reviewed. You can see how the camera works. You just start the applications, which is typical for the Chinese smartphones. You see how fast it starts. It works fine. The autofocus works faster if you just put it manually, because sometimes it's not so fast. You can see, okay, this one was good, but in some cases it's not so good. There are lots of settings which are also typical for most of the Chinese smartphones, because all they come with the same camera applications pre-installed. We like the night shots. If we compare them to other Chinese smartphones, they're not really good, but they're better than what the other Chinese smartphones can offer you. The camera speed is good. You can see how fast the camera picture is taken. It's done. The color reproduction is not very good if you're taking indoor pictures because the colors are a little bit pale and not very accurate, but still it's a good camera for a cheap smartphone. So you pay actually what you get for, and what you get is not a bad camera at all. Let us show you the gaming performance. You just run Asphalt 8. Although the smartphone has 2 gigabytes of RAM and Mali T720 GPU, it struggles to run the games at highest graphics. So we found that we need to decrease the graphics in order to get smoother performance. Just want to mention that currently this game will be played at lowest possible details. This doesn't mean that it looks bad, but it just not full details resolution. Takes a few seconds to load, but this is because the processor is clocked just at 1 gigahertz. So it takes a little bit more than on more expensive smartphone. Okay, we'll just show you a little bit gaming. As you can see, the game runs smooth, no frame drops. But if you switch to higher level of graphics, then for sure you have a bad time, and it's not a pleasant experience. It's almost not playable at all. But you see, lowest graphics are good. So if you play a game which supports lower graphic resolutions, if it has any options for changing the graphics, then you should be fine with decreasing the graphic level. Okay, you see, it runs well. It depends on the graphics, but you can't expect much from a budget device like Cubot H1. The most important feature of this smartphone actually is the big battery, 5200 milliamperes. We found it to be really, really strong. It's a really good battery. Let's just show you. We had the battery at about 43%. We had some gaming. We browsed some websites. We ran some intensive benchmarks. We had about more than 2 hours. You can see more than 2 hours of screen time. And currently the battery is at 25%. So we started at 43 and now we are at 25. Only 18% for 2 hours and 15 minutes screen time for gaming, intensive benchmarks, which involves really hard, really tough CPU loading. It's pretty good. And the best part here, it has an infrared port, which is on the top. This one right here. This is the infrared port. So if you download an application, you will be able to use it for your TV remote control or your air condition or whatsoever. For this price, this is just great. And talking about the price, currently it is about $130. Big battery, 2 gigabytes of RAM, 16 gigabytes of internal storage. The Chinese smartphones are getting better and better. You can check the storage right here. Once you remove the operating system requirements, you have a little bit more than 12 gigabytes. And in addition to that, you get the micro SD card slot. The phone operates fast, even on the websites. So we'll just open our website. And here we are. Okay, you see it's good enough. No issues with the scrolling. once the site is loaded. This is really the basic what you can get in terms of processor, but it's good enough for this money. Okay, so this is Cubot H1. If you're interested in more details about the phone, just check the link under the video because you'll find our full review there with picture samples, benchmarks, more pictures of the phone, more detailed explanation. If you're interested in more videos, just subscribe for our channel. Thank you very much for watching us. Bye bye.